Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day because I get to play around with a vehicle that has just arrived to the United States. It is the INEOS Grenadier. This particular example is a gasoline-consuming example because diesels won't be offered in America. All I know is, this vehicle has a commanding presence, and this is more my style than a Rolls-Royce Cullinan. Ladies and gentlemen, the INEOS Grenadier. And I'm in front of it. If this is your first time visiting the channel, please subscribe, like, and share this video, and feel free to go back and watch previous videos where I've driven some cool cars, like a Lamborghini LM002. I've driven a lot of cool new SUVs, but for some reason, I haven't been compelled to engage with those because they don't seem end-of-the-world capable. I haven't been very excited about a new SUV in a very long time because most car manufacturers are actively targeting a new consumer obsessed with luxury features and iPhones. The INEOS feels special because it steps away from the leash of technology and helps you escape. So come along with me on this journey to look at the intricate details of this very raw prototype with a lot of unfinished panels. Right behind me you see a G-Wagon, you see the new Defender. The INEOS Grenadier encompasses the design language of both of these vehicles. So now I have this rare opportunity to see the car in person here in the United States for the very first time. I'm gonna give you my first thoughts on what I think about it because it's got the suspension geometry of a Nissan Patrol, it has a BMW engine, and it has the design language of old school Defender, yet it's the sponsor for the Mercedes-Benz Formula One team. So let's check it out and see what it's all about. First, we had a Q&A about dealerships and delivery. Car launches in 2023 to a dealership network of specialty cars. Then we were let loose on the vehicle. All right, so I'm gonna enter the car for the first time.
Because in Europe, you can't have these sideways facing seats. They changed. Not anymore. Not well, but from 2007 to 2016, it had four.
This is absolutely incredible.
Whereas these side bench seats only had
Wow.
which was illegal to.
Buttons all over. One thing I could appreciate is that it doesn't look like a Formula One steering wheel. Only what's needed is at your fingertips. Alright, so I'm going to step into the driver's seat. You see, this is a prototype, so a lot of the kill switches and a lot of the switches and knobs are not final to the vehicle. This is a prototype, so there's a lot of loose fitting things around this vehicle. So I'm going to just sit in this Recaro seat. And I fit perfectly. And you have full visibility to everything around you. A lot of differential switches, off-road mode, exterior lights, assistance. So all this stuff will show up in production. But this is like an airplane cockpit in here. All this stuff is designed to be functional, and the visibility is like a G-Wagon. Everything is like G-Wagon, old school Defender. You just see straight ahead of you. Everything has a solidity to it. Of course, the handles feel a little loose because this is a prototype. There's not that solid Mercedes feel that you got with the G-Wagon. Not yet. When this vehicle is finalized for its later versions, when it finally hits production, that's a compass. I thought that was a clock. That's pretty cool. You're going to see that this vehicle is going to be finished with a high level of durability, and there's going to be a resistance even to the knobs. So we're going to wait for that to happen with the 0.2 version of this. Let's look at the steering wheel. We have cruise control. We have just stuff that you need that is going to be functional on a regular car that you're going to daily drive. This is going to be your only indicator because there's a symmetrical feel to the steering wheel. So when you're making turns, you don't know which part points north. So this marker is going to be very important for you to know. You have the toot horn because if you're a cyclist, then INEOS has a cycling history. So if you hit the toot horn, you're not going to scare the living crap out of someone who's on a bicycle. You just want to be polite to them. And because the founder of INEOS, the president of the company, is an avid cyclist as well as an avid sailor, this goes a long way for him. So it makes a lot of sense. And of course, I'm wearing a Land Rover hat because this has a lot of Land Rover heritage. But you don't see any Alpine windows. The Alpine windows are not an option in this car because you have something that's going to be a little different. you are going to have grab handles, and I'm going to show you that right now. These are the grab handles I was telling you about that's going to help with your roof accessibility. Unless you're my height and you're 6'5", and you could just reach the roof without having to use the grab handles to get to the top. This is what it looks like from the top of the vehicle when I'm holding on to the grab handles. It's very nice. I don't know if I'm allowed to climb it, but if they tell me otherwise, then I'll, yeah, unless they tell you otherwise, have fun, right? The front and rear bumpers on the prototype are plastic, but it is promised to be metal when production hits, and it is also promised to be sectioned into 5 separate parts, so if damaged, only partial replacement is necessary. This prototype exhibits a ladder, but it wasn't climbable in the sense that it could support a human's body weight, because it's for show at the moment. Being that it's a prototype, the team at INEOS did listen to our feedback about what we could improve to the vehicle. One criticism I heard was the rear seats didn't fold flat to the floor. I like that it does not fold flat to the floor because I want maximum ground clearance, and off-road capability would be compromised otherwise. Being that this is a prototype, panel fitment and parts finishes aren't production ready. One thing that is production ready is the shock and bright yellow spring setup that is barely visible behind the purpose-built steel wheels on BF Goodrich tires. This fuller tire setup is like the one I had on my first generation Range Rover Classic. This proper setup is a huge contrast to the modern Range Rover with air suspension and 22-inch rims that serve no purpose on a trail. As I said, because this is a prototype, there's a lot of pieces that the fit and finish, like it doesn't have doesn't have the actuator for the window. That piece is missing. So it's like little things like that that we'll have to get into production in order to make sure that everything is completely done the right way. Because even this door latch is very loose fitting, textile Recaro seat, not a leather seat, but it actually looks really, really good, really, really durable. This prototype has carpets, but the real one is going to have a rubber floor with the drain plugs. The build quality is not like a G-Wagon in the sense that you have these exterior bolt patterns. I was just asking one of the people who are experts with the INEOS Grenadier if these doors are removable like that on a Jeep Wrangler. But there is a complicated Allen key that would prevent you from taking these doors off for just off-roading adventures and driving with the doors off. If anything, you would just remove the door with the intention of replacing it in case you dinged it while you were going off-road. That was very pertinent information that I didn't think that I could find on the website, so that was really cool for him to explain that to me. This particular INEOS is fitted with a snorkel in case you need to do some swimming and some off-roading in an area where you're gonna have deep, treacherous waters that would potentially flood the engine. And that is why you install a snorkel in the vehicle, to just give it the ultimate level of capability. If you're looking at this detail, you're probably wondering what this belt molding piece is. This belt molding piece is designed for you to latch on accessories that would otherwise not fit in the interior compartment of the vehicle. This would extend the possibility to add more exterior luggage, if you will, or exterior accessories like a shovel to the exterior of the vehicle and make it the ultimate outfitting of the overlanding monster that it really is. You have a BF Goodrich spare tire because that is the absolute best tire that you can have, a K02 tire for your off-roading extreme adventures, and that is the exact same tire that I had when I had my Range Rover Classic. It is absolutely the best off-roading tire in the business. And these steel wheels look very good with the 6-bolt pattern. You would think the other wheels would look better, but this actually it does the job right. I don't know why you would want anything else. I mean, this is a really cool space that they have this INEOS Grenadier behind me. It just makes for an amazing presence, the way that they presented it. And it gives it a lot of space where you have this empty warehouse in New Jersey that allows you to really focus on the vehicle. They chose a color, that blue that I really like, that really pops. And it's really one of those vehicles that you're like really shocked that it's really in the United States at this moment in time. So having the vehicle that is this capable in a space where the parking lot is filled with G-Wagons and other Land Rovers, because the buyer for this vehicle is going to be someone like me who enjoys the Land Rover and they enjoy the G-Wagon, but they want something that's not going to be filled with too many ECUs, it's not going to be filled with too many computers, it's not going to be at a price point where you're afraid to off-road it, and it's going to be something that's going to be accessible for more people, because the off-road community doesn't necessarily want to do driving to the mall to look good in Beverly Hills. This car is less Posh Spice and more Sylvester Stallone of 1989. That's all it is. It's a vehicle that's capable, it's more Rambo than it is refined. So that is my verdict on the vehicle. I think this is a great vehicle that has a lot of presence, and I think you'll like it. And the fact that I got to sit in this, I got to go around the prototype, really look at the vehicle and see what it's really about. I think this vehicle has a lot of potential to do really well here in the United States. So subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna be able to drive this in a few short months when they make their second tour around the United States. So thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Is 1, 2.
Because I know they ask.
Waistcoats. I like you in the white.